before. So we're going to sweeten the pot a little. We're going to have a costume contest. We're going to be the judges, so we can't win, along with the DJ. There will be prizes. The first place winner will get 2 tickets to our holiday dinner, which is an $80 value. The runners-up will get lottery ticket scratchers. Okay? So you need to do this. You got to know how many we got coming. It's bring your own drinks, bring your own food, bring your own everything. It's only $10. And we'll be doing the hustle, and you can watch and laugh at us, or you can try it out, whatever you want to do. But we'd really like to see you there. Thank you very much.
There's somebody on the stage who is a really good speaker, and it's not me. And for the coming year, Dennis is going to be taking over the speaking responsibilities, so I don't have to stutter. It takes a village. Bye.
The things I do with this club. And for the president, most of all. All right, enough of the silliness. It's time for the Pledge of Allegiance. So please stand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next slide, please. So our moment of silence today is for all women who will be affected by the terrible 15-week ban that will become a 6-week ban on May 1st, whose rights we will restore and protect by our votes in November. Thank you. Next slide, please. Today's agenda focuses on 2 items. Our speaker, Danielle Hawk, from the Florida Democratic Party staff, and the kickoff rally to pass Constitutional Amendment 4 and end Florida's 6-week ban in Orlando. Amendment 4 will prohibit the government from interfering in women's health care choices. Politically speaking, voters are fed up with the state's governor and legislature attacking women and taking away their rights. This gives us a chance to flip Florida to Joe Biden, to defeat Rick Scott, and to help other Democrats running throughout the state. Earlier this week, Florida Democratic Party Chair Nikki Fried did an all-Democrat statewide Zoom call with more than 300 leaders of the party. She noted that Amendment 4 is going to be helpful because we know Democrats favor this amendment. She also noted that Biden has opened a campaign office in Florida. And what she said is true. The nation's eyes are once again all on Florida. Florida is in play, and we are going to take Florida back.
Yes.
Danielle Hawk, who is the Florida Democratic Party Director of Campaigns and Candidates, is here to tell us how we'll do that and how we can help. Danielle.
Good morning, Democrats. Hi, everyone. As you have heard, my name is Danielle Hawk, and I am the Director of Candidates and Campaigns at the Florida Democratic Party. I am thrilled to be here with all of you this morning And on behalf of our chairwoman, Nikki Freed, and the whole team at FDP, I want to thank you for the work that you are doing here on the ground. But before I tell you all about the exciting work we are doing and about the year ahead, I want to tell you a little bit about how I ended up here. In 2022, I had the honor of serving as the Democratic nominee for Congress in Florida's 3rd District. Not too far from here, the bottom of it was Marion County, pretty close. And I spent months crisscrossing our red 12-county district during my campaign. And y'all, it was no cakewalk. But during that time, there was one person who made a very, very exhausted candidate, my campaign staff and my volunteers feel seen. And we now know her as our fearless leader, the chair of the Florida Democratic Party, Nikki Freed. On the campaign trail together, the chair and I spent a lot of time talking about the resources that our candidates lacked and how our state party could step up and do better. And now, here I am today for opening my big mouth, and I am making those ideas a reality. Now, I want all of you to think back with me to where our state party was a little more than a year ago, January, February of last year. We had just lost Florida by 20 points. Y'all remember how that felt? That moment demanded that we as Florida Democrats admit where we had failed. And while confronting that truth was daunting, what choice did we really have? Republicans are attacking our democratic rights and our fundamental freedoms. As we've all seen so vividly since the 2020 election, Republicans have even pretended to believe in democracy. There was, and there is, too much at stake. In our country, only one party, our party, the Democratic Party, remains committed to a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Revitalizing the Florida Democratic Party and saving our democracy have become one in the same cause. It was only by resurrecting our party that we could hope to save Florida. And wow, what a difference a year makes. It is really a new day for the Florida Democratic Party. Months after we elected Nikki Freed as our state party chair, Democrats across Florida, and many of you in this room included, worked hard to flip Duval County blue and to elect Donna Deegan as the first female mayor of Jacksonville. And we showed the rest of the nation that Florida was worth fighting for. And Duval was a critical lesson for all of us. To take back Florida, we have to stay focused and work together as a team. Because miracles do not exist in this business. It's only hard work amplified by time. And in this last year, we have all been working hard to make up ground that we lost across the state. We have launched voter registration efforts. We have secured over 1 million signatures for Amendment 4 and got it on the ballot.
Yes.
I should have held your applause because we also flipped House District 35 blue and elected Representative Tom Keene. And one of our chair's personal favorites, we made sure the country knew why Ron DeSantis will never be president of the United States. You all have helped us prove over the last year to the nation that Florida is not a red state, that Florida should not be written off, and that with the right combination of time, effort, and resources, Democrats can take back Florida. When our chair was elected, she made us a promise that November 2022 will never happen again. And that is why in 2024, from Pensacola all the way down to Key West, Florida Democrats are competing everywhere. We saw that the areas where Democrats did not contest races in 2022, from Congress to City Council, our voter base stayed home. Imagine with me for a moment what 2022 could have been had we made recruiting and empowering our candidates a priority. We need more Democrats running for office, but while every Democratic candidate should be campaigning to win, I know from personal experience it is tough getting someone to jump into a race where the odds are not in our favor. Remember, I ran in a district that was filled to the brim with Republicans, and I know all of you have experienced that here. But whether you are running for office, whether you're recruiting for your club or your DEC, or you're re-enrolling your neighbors in vote by mail, or you are supporting a candidate's campaign, we have to ground ourselves in the vital role that candidates play in taking back our state. First, we need to build a bench of candidates by getting more Democrats to run for office with the skills so that they can run for higher offices in the future. The truth is, the work is not going to be done in just one election cycle. We have to strategically plan, something we have not been doing, for 2026, 2028, 2030, and beyond. Today's candidates for city commissioner or mayor or state legislature, those are tomorrow's candidates for commissioner, attorney general, and governor. Second, when we have more Democrats who are running for office, we'll have more campaigns mobilizing our voter base. Candidates for county commission, town council, and school board, those are the candidates who are best positioned to engage in the critical work of relational organizing, getting their friend, their cousin, their mom out to vote. And this is a perfect time to remind you that Senator Rick Scott has never, ever won an election by more than 1% of the vote. In 2024, we have an opportunity to send him into retirement, but only if our party, our DECs, our clubs, and our candidates all work together. And finally, with Florida Democrats competing everywhere, we are forcing Republicans to spend their resources everywhere. And I know that getting Republicans to burn their money is something we can all get behind, right? But beyond the reasons that I just outlined, competing everywhere serves an even higher purpose. As Florida Democrats, our North Star must always be holding the Republican Party accountable. Republicans continue to attack women's reproductive rights, sidestep real solutions to our property insurance crisis, and put their own political ambitions above the needs of Floridians. By competing everywhere, we are forcing Republicans to answer for their unrelenting assault on our state. And that is where my role as a director of candidates and campaigns comes in. My philosophy is simple. If our party doesn't invest in our candidates, how can we expect Floridians to vote for them, let alone knock doors for them or give their hard-earned money to their campaigns? If we have candidates running for office, or if you have run for office at any point in any state at any time in the past, I would like you to stand up. Anyone? I know we have at least one in this room. Okay. Unless you have done it yourself, it is really hard to understand the sacrifice and courage it takes to put your name on a ballot. And my job as the director of candidates and campaigns is to tell our candidates, we see you, we are rooting for you, and we have your back. To make good on that commitment this election, we've launched really exciting initiatives to empower our candidates, no matter where they're running or what they're running for. I gotta tell you, every day I have a candidate who comes to me and tells me they're running for something, and I'm like, you're running for what? Because There are so many races all the way down the ballot. In every single county, they have different elections. They run them differently, all the way down to utility boards and hospital boards, and we are supporting all of those candidates. We released a digital toolkit for free to all of our candidates that includes a suite of tools that they can use to effectively organize in their communities. We have a training calendar that we have developed with a curriculum of workshops throughout the year that help candidates qualify for the ballot, ensure they're following compliance laws, public speaking, and more. And every month, just like our All Democrats call that you heard about earlier, we host an All Candidates call where we have guest speakers come in, encourage our candidates, the chair takes time to have conversations with them, the staff answers their questions, and we equip them with the tools they need to run effective campaigns. We also launched our new Take Back Local program leading up to the March 19th municipal elections. And y'all, I am so proud of this. We worked directly with 7 candidates running competitive races across the state, and 4 of those candidates won their elections. But that's not even the most exciting part. Statewide, Democrats won more than 60% of the municipal elections that we contested on March 19th. I am looking forward to continuing our Take Back Local program in August and November and providing direct support for municipal candidates across our state. It is really an honor to provide the support that I only dreamed of as a candidate. And I gotta tell you, we are just getting started. As a party, we are finally empowering our candidates to earn their community support, to raise critical dollars for their races, and to push their supporters to the polls. All of this, and everything that we have accomplished together over the last year, has set the stage for this really critical election in 2024. You may have seen that the Biden-Harris campaign hired their senior leadership team for Florida. And yes, you did hear that right. Even President Joe Biden knows that Florida is worth fighting for. And this last week, we launched our Take Back Florida coordinated statewide campaign. And right now, we have our first coordinated campaign weekend of action happening with hundreds of volunteers across 10 counties from Duval to Miami-Dade participating in a voter registration weekend of action. This is how we win elections. For the next 9 months on the campaign trail, we are going to focus on the issues that Floridians actually care about, which is a novel idea for Republicans: abortion, affordability, and accountability. Because Florida Democrats want to keep the government out of your personal medical decisions. Florida Democrats believe in finding solutions to the property insurance crisis and making Florida a more affordable place to live. Florida Democrats think that government officials should be held accountable for their actions and should promote policies that benefit all of us. We have to carry that message together all the way to November. And if we do, we are going to flip seats in the legislature. We are going to restore reproductive rights. We're going to legalize cannabis. And we are going to send Rick Scott into retirement. That's a pretty big list, y'all. We've got a lot of work to do over the next 9 months, and I am really, really proud to be in this fight with you. And together, we are going to take back Florida. Thank you. That we have time for questions, but I'm not in charge, so am I? Yes? Okay. Anybody have a question? Anything I can answer?
Are you planning on running again?
Am I planning on running again? Right now, I am so committed to helping other candidates run and win.
Well, if you run in my district, I'll vote for you.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. We had a question in the back. When is the last time to get on the ballot? So candidates have, if you are a congressional candidate, the deadline's gonna be April 26th, that's coming up in 2 weeks. No, I am not sleeping. And if you are running for the state legislature or county level office, like constitutional officers, tax collector, supervisor of elections, that deadline is June 14th, so we still have time for those candidates to get in. And then if it's a municipal office, it depends on when the election is. August, it's normally gonna be sometime in May to qualify for the ballot, and November, it's gonna be sometime in June or July to qualify for the ballot. Anybody else? Yes.
Do we have a candidate to oppose Matt Gates?
Do we have a candidate to oppose? The answer is yes. Her name is Gay Valimont. You can, I believe her website is Gay for Congress, but you can, it's VALIMONT. She's doing a fantastic job holding him accountable, and she is a huge gun sense safety advocate with Moms Demand Action. She's fantastic. Yes.
What is the voter registration date that you were saying when you're going to do it across the state?
So the question was, when is the voter registration day across the state? So right now, it is currently happening, a weekend of action for voter registration. However, our voter registration director, Chris, is doing a fantastic job of working with our clubs and DECs to stand up these events every weekend from now through the election. You're welcome. Yes?
When are you planning to start your commercials against Rick Scott, especially with Social Security issues? Really hot.
Yeah. So the question was, when are we planning to start commercials against Rick Scott, especially on the Social Security issue? That is, I do not run the commercials, so I do not want to give you an incorrect day. But I do know that it is a priority. They are already in conversations with that, but we do still have to get through the primary election for the Democrats who are on the ballot for the United States Senate. Yes, in the back.
Is the FDP going to financially support candidates, and if so, how much?
Is the FDP going to financially support candidates, and if so, how much? The answer is absolutely yes. We have already been doing it. So those March 19th elections, when I'm talking about direct support, I mean, we were sending mailers and text messages and running phone banks, all of which cost money, and giving direct contributions to those candidates who are on the ballot. How much? That depends how much you donate to the Florida Democratic Party today. But I don't have a number on that I can give you, but we do have a plan to give direct monetary support to our candidates. Yes?
Where do we send money?
Where do we send money?
Yes.
So you can do two things. You can write a check to the Florida Democratic Party, or you can go on our website and we have an Act Blue link on there that you can donate to. Yes?
Are there records of tracking of how much money is going to the national party from Florida and how much is coming back?
The question is, can you clarify that for me? How much money from?
From Florida residents are sending money to the national party, which I encourage, and how much of that is coming back? I know it's early in the season.
Yeah, so the question is, how much are Florida residents giving to the national party, and then how much is the national party giving to us? Are we tracking that? That would definitely be a question for our finance department. That's not really my strong suit, but I do know that the national party is making significant investments in Florida this cycle. Yes, that's good news. We love that. Yes.
You mentioned the website. What is the website?
Oh, it is floridadems.org, DEMS.org. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes, in the front.
I'm getting a lot of emails and texts to
for money. From all the candidates, sometimes they're outside of the state of Florida. It's very confusing as to the best place to put my money.
Yes.
So would that be the national, or that be the local Florida party?
So the question was, and what she said was that she's getting a lot, you're getting inundated, I hear, with text messages and emails and all that sort of stuff. I am preferential to Florida and our Florida candidates. I do not think that you can go wrong giving financial support to our candidates in Florida. They need it, right? And especially those who are running in really tough to win districts, those folks need your support because it is a lot harder for them to get money outside of the state to bring that in for our tough to win seats, right? But you can also give directly to the Florida Democratic Party. Obviously, we got to pay our bills somehow, right? And so we also do give direct support to candidates as well. And I don't think that you could go wrong either way. Yes.
Where is the Biden office located?
The question was, where is the Biden office located? We're doing, well, they just did an office opening for the Hispanic caucus with the Latinos Home Biden campaign, and that is in Coral Gables in Miami-Dade. And then we will be opening offices soon in Central and in South Florida. I don't live in Central and South Florida, so I don't know exactly where they are, but they're going to be announcing that, and I think they're opening in the next couple of weeks, so they'll announce the locations. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes.
What is the party doing to reverse the red trend in Miami-Dade County?
The question is, what is the party doing to reverse the red trend in Miami-Dade County? So obviously, we just opened up that office in Miami-Dade County. We are working to re-elect Mayor Danielle Hawk in Miami-Dade. She's doing a fantastic job. They are already on the ground. They collected tens of thousands of petitions to qualify her by petition, which I have qualified by petition before, and I would never do it again. But oh my gosh, so many petitions. And we are also doing a paid voter registration program that is already happening on the ground right now in Miami-Dade. Yes?
Are you collaborating with your counterparts across the country in a national effort?
Yeah, so the question was, are we collaborating with our counterparts across the country in a national effort? So I actually was just on a call on Thursday with folks who have similar roles to me across the country. The National Party does host a big call once a month where we all get together and we all present on different programs that we're running. And they just presented from Illinois, a really great program for school board candidates, how they ran it, how they targeted the data, all of that. But I do want to say that we are one of very, very few state parties across the country who has a dedicated director of candidates and campaigns. A lot of times folks are splitting their jobs one way or another, and I am just so grateful that I have the opportunity to, literally, I'm the candidate helpline. Candidates have a place to go, they know who to call, and that is not always the case with these other state parties, but yes, I am working and collaborating with other state party counterparts as well.
All right. Thank you very much, Danielle. By tradition, our guest speaker gets to pick the winner of the 50-50 raffle.
Oh, I love it.
So get your tickets out, everyone.
And the number is 688807. number is 288664. We have a winner. All right, we got our last one. Here we go. 689741.
All right.
All right, let me read that one more time. 689741.
All right. Thank you, Danielle. I know from going to the Lake County gala that Tom Keen said the party gave him direct help at the beginning of his campaign of $250,000. And then later helped to the tune of $500,000 more. So money is going to get the candidates, but like you said, we need to help fill the coffers so they can have money to distribute. Having mentioned Lake, Luann Tudor of Lake County has an announcement.
Thank you very much. I wanted to announce 2 new Facebook groups that are out. We have a Facebook group for villagers in Lake County north of 44 and villagers in Lake County south of 44. So if anybody is interested in getting more information about Lake County activities or villages activities, we'll be posting for both things. The other thing is, Mary Jane, would you stand up? Mary Jane is going to cover for me while I'm on vacation. So when you come here, there will be somebody who can answer your Lake County questions. So I really appreciate that, and thank you very much.
Also want to recognize our other guests from the Sumter County DEC, Bob Berg, the chair, and Chris Anderson, the vice chair. Last Sunday, our club co-hosted and sponsored an event with the DEC and with the Democratic Women's Club of the Villages, a candidate forum at Eisenhower, which included Senate candidate Debbie Mukersel-Powell, and our congressional candidate Barbie Barden Hall, and our new state Senate candidate Marilyn Halloran, and Ash Marwa, our candidate for Florida House. Followed by a golf cart caravan, which of course is always a lot of fun for the candidates, especially those who've never been exposed to the villages that way. Debbie Mukersel-Powell said she will be coming back. So our sponsoring opportunity was $1,000 from the club treasury, which is your dues. So we're reporting that out to you because we used it to help spread the word and make visible a club and its activities with literature, and also try to recruit new members because we want our membership to grow. We're now more than 1,100 members. Earlier this year, we also, through the recertification process, contributed $8,000 to the Sumter Democratic Party, and they will be able to use that money to help candidates get elected. So that's something else the club is responsible for. We also provide a lot of volunteers, and we need more all the time. So if you have opportunities to volunteer, you'll see them in the buzz, usually. So please make sure you think about helping out that way. Okay, so where am I? Next slide, please. So a few people have asked, what happened to What's the Buzz? And when is it coming back? So if you, I'm going to give you a short one today because we're trying to get the meeting over so we can go to Orlando to a rally. If you missed the Eclipse coverage, and the eclipse itself this past week. Bob Burt didn't, he was up in Indiana watching the eclipse. This one is for you. Next slide, please. I'm upset I got more laughter than my get-up. Okay, now it's time to talk about today's Orlando rally. So next slide, please. So Joe won't be there, nor will any politician speak. Floridians Protecting Freedom, which led the drive that got the 1.4 million petition signatures to get Amendment 4 on the ballot, is appealing to everyone who supports reproductive rights. So there'll be no politicians speaking. It will be all about reproductive rights, protecting them, restoring them, and appealing not only to Democrats who are by every poll way in favor of this initiative. We need 60% for this constitutional initiative to pass. But independents, particularly women, and Republicans, a significant amount of women are in favor of this Amendment 4. So we need to get this done. For our part, I ask anyone who's driving down after the meeting who has room in their car to take passengers to please stand up for a moment. Okay. Okay, so if anyone wants to go and wants to hitch a ride, Bill has already said he has room in his car for 2 passengers. And Diane and I have room in our car for 1. So find us when the meeting is over, and we'll take you down there and bring you back. Get Uber service for free. In case you were wondering, I will not be wearing this get up to the road. Next slide, please. Thank you all for coming. We'll see you next month. Peace out.